Alright guys, what is going on today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm talking about the new Boruto episode 228. Now, this episode is mainly a follow-up of Kawaki becoming a Genin, and he's put through each individual team to get better experience and to learn to make friends. So far, Kawaki has had no luck. And this episode is a whole self-reflection for Kawaki and him trying to become better. But Kawaki is not used to this type of lifestyle or making friends that easy since he was trapped for a very long time, as Hinata said in this episode. So him opening up and becoming friends with everybody is going to take some time. Though I do like how they are developing up Kawaki to actually become a Genin and become friends with everybody else, as we've seen in the manga chapters. So first, him talking to Sarada. Sarada did say back in chapter 28 that if anything bothers him, he can talk to her since she plans to become the Hokage. And then Naruto's like, there you go, you've already made your first friend. And that's way back in chapter 28. And then we've seen in this episode, Kawaki wasn't talking to anybody else, but he talks to Sarada. So that is a friend he made and he trusts her in order for him to talk to her like that. So that was foreshadowed back in chapter 28 that Kawaki finally talked to Sarada about something. Now this episode does foreshadow a lot with the future manga chapters to come. For example, chapter 59. In chapter 59, we see that Kawaki's walking down the street after Amado told him the karma things, and Kawaki screams into the air and he meets Shikadai. And then Shikadai talks to him saying, I know it's been tough, this and that, but don't worry about anything, keep your head high. So in this episode, we see that Shikadai couldn't keep up with Kawaki, and Kawaki's like, I'm not your friend. But in chapter 59, it seems that Shikadai has become friends with Kawaki. And then in chapter 60, when Kawaki's in the convenience store, he remembers Shikadai. Again, that's his friend. And then now you see Kawaki buying some groceries or buying some snacks in the convenience store. Now the thing is, Kawaki got money to actually buy that stuff, which in this episode, it showed that Kawaki got paid for doing his Genin missions. And then in chapter 61, now in 61, you see Kawaki with everybody from Inojin, Shikadai, and Boruto, and they're opening cards. As in this episode, we've seen that Kawaki did not want to play cards with Shikadai and Inojin. He did not want to hang out with Shikadai or Inojin, but now he's hanging out with them. And he's hanging out with Boruto as well. It shows that Kawaki is finally hanging out with his friends and he's actually made friends. As to this episode, Kawaki did not want to do any of that. He did not even want to go on missions, anything like that. So this episode is a foreshadow to chapter 59, 60, and 61. So none of the code stuff is going to come yet. I think the code stuff is going to be later on. The anime might change it around a bit and develop on Kawaki more on him becoming a Genin. Since in chapter 60, we do see that Kawaki puts on Boruto's old headband and Boruto's like, here, take my headband. So that is hinting that he does become a Genin, but at the moment he's still not a Genin, meaning he failed his missions and he did not become a Genin in these anime canon arcs. And then later down the road, when Kawaki builds on himself properly, where now he understands what friends are and this and that, he will finally put the headband on that Boruto gave him, and then he will finally be an official Genin. So I like how this episode did that. It foreshadowed a lot into the later manga chapters, and I actually like that where it went. Like from Kawaki not wanting to talk to anybody, but he talks to Sarada, but then she tells him back in chapter 28 to talk to her, and then in chapter 59, 60, 61, he hangs out with Inojin, Shikadai, and even talks to them, and they become closer friends, which is a good thing. So overall, this episode was pretty good. I liked it. So some things in this episode were kind of strange to me, where Boruto wakes up Kawaki. Now, I did not understand what happened with Boruto's face. That's the first time I've seen Boruto blush like that, so it's kind of weird. I think they might have been hinting something else with Kawaki's, yeah, I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, that face that Boruto made, that is the first time I've seen that face, and it was kind of weird though in my opinion. Like, I never seen Boruto do that, so the context there was kind of out of the window. Like, I don't know what was going on. But the funniest thing that got me was the fact that Kawaki is becoming like Shikamaru and Shikadai, and he says, what a drag. Even in the Hokage office, when he's talking to Shikamaru and Naruto, he's like, this is a drag, and Shikamaru's like, hey, that's my line. Now looking at the end of this episode, Kawaki has to escort somebody to another village with Shikadai and Chocho. They are hinting a bigger plot coming in terms of Kawaki actually fighting somebody, as we've seen in the preview. And then on top of that, we see Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki doing a mission. So for all we know, these two teams are going to join up later, and I think they are going to join up together, since I think it is hinted in the future episodes with the summaries from Organic Dinosaur on Twitter. But anyways, this is what I think of this episode. It's pretty nice. I like how it foreshadows everything. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.